paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe, and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, it's downright refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying. I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And
I
yes,
don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another very special episode of Brainstorm Brewery. I'm your host, Cass Lynn. I'm underwater.
Why are you
And I'm
talking?
DJ.
Get out of the water!
And I'm DJ. I'm falling from the sky. And we have Jason on ground zero on terra firma. We have all the elements here today. Corbin's in the astral realm. So we have the fourth.
This is terrible.
Phase
This is bad.
Shut up. That was an okay bit.
Everybody's a critic.
That was acceptable. You ruined
Yes.
what we were doing. Which was
We have a
acceptable
podcast to start.
Yeah, I would pretend that what you said was funny, but this isn't the EDH Recast. So we actually have to be funny.
Or else what?
I don't
Aren't
know.
you on that podcast?
No, I was a guest once or twice maybe.
I don't know why, but I don't know anybody at EDH Rec except for you. I just assume that you're the entirety of EDH Rec.
That'd be sick. This whole time it's just been me insisting on myself.
That's what I thought this entire time. Is that not the case?
I didn't tell anybody I could program.
At 8 p.m., he puts on a cape that says EDH Rick that's scrawled in crayon and starts coding.
Can we get a website called CEDH Rec that's just like a suggestion to cut your pet cards and add in
Yeah,
more of the
exactly. It's
broken
just
cards?
100 cards, right? It's someone's like, there should be a CEDH rec, and I linked the top 100 most played cards in EDH, and I got downvoted hard, but I wasn't wrong, right? Like, I was an asshole. I wasn't wrong.
And as
Okay,
we know,
Walter.
being an asshole is not important. Being wrong is.
I would be more embarrassed to be wrong in front of 3 people I will never see again than to make an ass out of myself in front of my friends and family.
That tracks everything I know about you, Jason.
You'd rather be right than happy.
Yeah,
And that's what matters.
because nothing it makes me more unhappy than being wrong.
Yeah.
I was reading a thing this morning about a study they did of like 350 people who committed suicide, and how almost all cases between like their suicide notes and conversations with their loved ones in their last days, it seemed like for most people it was about preserving the mind at the expense of the body. And like the conclusion of this article that I read was like, the mind would rather be dead than wrong. Which is to say, Jason, are you okay?
If I'm ever wrong, check on me. Let's put
Well,
it that
speaking
way.
of people who are wrong, let's talk about Banlist Announcements. Let's make some takes.
I said Nadu was fine. I didn't check the ban. I said grief was fine. There were enough ways to deal with it.
And I'm going to take a big sip of water while you do that.
In vintage, vintage is fine. No changes there. So, what came out today?
I'm very excited to play with my favorite one-mana uncommon artifact from Modern Horizons 3 and Vintage is a 4 of. Now to take a big sip of my water.
Oh no!
Oh no! I think all the bans today make sense. I don't get the vintage restrictions.
Is
from what I
Urza
understand,
Saga
everyone-
that big of a menace?
I think like the data says that it is, but everyone who plays the format is like, actually, it's pretty good. So I don't know. I basically just form all of my opinions on vintage based on what Justin Gennari says, because he's like the only person who plays enough vintage to have opinions.
I usually try to play once a year.
Urza's Saga seems like the kind of card that will go eventually, regardless of whether or not it goes today. Just based,
Yeah.
it's like the birthing problem, right? Where it's that they're not going to stop printing 1-mana artifacts that are good to search up.
So the thing I really feel it sort of crystallized in my head about Legacy recently is they just shouldn't ban any cards printed more than 20 years ago in Legacy.
I saw a tweet. I might have mentioned this on the podcast, but I saw a tweet recently that was like, the litmus test for cards that should be banned in Legacy is like nothing pre 9/11.
Yeah, like I think you just can't ban those cards. I think
Because that's when
Vintage,
everything
like,
changed. So
I think for Vintage, it's like the actual line is just like only restrict the cards that stop your opponent from doing something urgently, and everything else you just wait till it's actually a problem. So like Vexing Bobble makes more sense to me than Urza Saga, because Vexing Bobble made for like non-games. I think Urza Saga
how
is
do you
like
explain Gitaxian Probe then?
because that card is just way too good on rate. Like that card is
I know that
the
card.
top
Not a
of the
magic
most
card.
Magic
I
cards.
know.
Yeah,
Not an actual Magic card.
that card is like a Pokemon card.
I know.
Yeah.
I played 4 of them, and now I can only play 1, and I can't even play that deck anymore. That's how good Gitaxian Probe is.
I remember a piece Sully ran when he was on coverage where like it was some Sneak and Show player playing 3 Gitaxian Probes, and he was like, "How do you get to the number 3 on Gitaxian Probe? Like 1, oh, you had 59 cards and you had a slot.
Yeah.
2, you're making an egregious mistake. 3, you are just a coward. 4, you're correct. Like, how do we get there?
Yeah, because how do you know that Gitaxian Probe is correct, but not know the correct number of Gitaxian Probes?
Right.
It's X, right? It's always X.
Rex is the maximum amount you're allowed
X
to
is
play.
the maximum number allowed in that format.
Yeah.
Is it in my colors?
So the maximum number of Soren, Imperious Bloodlord, and Amalia Benavides.
Benavides. Aguirre.
Okay. My
Benavides
girl
Aguirre.
ABA is now not allowed. Maximum number of copies 0. Does this mean Treasure Cruise is just the only thing you can play in Pioneer?
It is definitely the best deck. Phoenix is like probably the best deck, but Amalia and Soren going means that there's a real chance we could see control decks make a resurgence, which are pretty good against Phoenix. We could see aggro decks make a resurgence, which can be pretty good against Phoenix. I think it's possible the format self-corrects and pushes Phoenix down. I don't think it's likely, but I think it's possible.
Okay. Is there a reason to play Pioneer coming up soon?
The regional championship in Dulles is a Pro Tour qualifying event. It's going to be like 2,000 people probably, if I had to guess, based on the number of people qualified at the Dulles Expo Center. That's in October. I think that's the only Pioneer event for the rest of the year that really matters, though, because Pioneer season's already over. So, as for the other formats, though, Modern had 2 bans, and I thought there was only going to be 1. That's exciting. Get Grief out of my format. All the formats, really. I don't think it needed to be banned in Modern, but, like, it kind of just sucked to play against, so I'm kind of happy they did it.
It might have retained some of its value, and they're like,
I
we need everybody who bought 4 Griefs to eat a dick right now.
So I keep looking at Grief, and I am not a game designer, but I really wonder if that card becomes okay if it comes with life loss attached, like Thoughtseize. I don't know if the number's 2 or 3, but like, if you're reanimating it twice and you're starting the game at 14, that's like a lot more interesting, I think.
So, I think in Modern that's possibly relevant. I think in Legacy it's not.
Sure.
Like, if you're already into paying 4 life to get a second Grief or whatever, like, you're probably into paying 7.
Yeah.
It might have made it a little bit less egregious, but I think like in Legacy it was always going to be a problem. And the actual joke is that like Reanimate is the power outlier there, but Reanimate was printed before 9/11, so it's bulletproof forever.
Reanimate, Ancient Tomb, Brainstorm,
Gaia's Cradle,
Untouchables.
I think that's fine. I think that's okay.
Yeah, especially
Honestly,
as Modern becomes the next Legacy.
Well, so that's what I wonder is like, why didn't Modern have this like? Modern has been around for as long as Legacy was when Modern was created, I think, or something like that. That's about the same.
Yes.
Because like Modern was 2012, and so
that's 19 years, 20 years.
Type 1.5 became Legacy in like what? 2002 or something, like formally Legacy. I don't actually know. It doesn't actually matter. That is all to say, why can't we say to like, oh, Birthing Pod's fine in Modern for forever? Why can't we say Splinter Twin's fine in Modern for forever? This is a bad faith argument to unban my favorite cards, just to be clear.
Oh, I'm
like,
bored, yeah.
That's why you have a podcast.
Right.
Is to make bad faith arguments for your own biases.
Correct.
I saw that one picture where it was like a bunch of dolphins jumping over the rainbow, and it was like, this is how I feel when spreading misinformation.
Yeah.
Just to unban pod. What's the worst that could go wrong? Like, it's cost life. It's cost form sorcery speed. The card has sorcery speed on it. It's fine. It's fine.
I guess the last format that got affected today is Legacy, my favorite format. And Grief is finally gone, as it probably should have been in June. And they announced that there's not going to be another BNR until December, which means the formats we have right now are the formats we will have for Eternal Weekend.
Yes.
Except for Duskmore will be legal, I guess. I think Foundations is also going to be legal before then, but I'm not 100% positive on that. I imagine those won't affect Eternal formats particularly much, maybe 1 or 2 cards. It's interesting that they're locking themselves in until the middle of December. When the last time they locked themselves in for several months, they ended up with the worst formats of all time. Head designer of Magic, Aaron Forsyth, referred to the article, the Banlist Announcement today, as a mea culpa, written by Michael Majors. Like, this was them owning up to a mistake, and they just proceeded to make the same mistake again, potentially. Like, what a... Not to be too harsh on people who are currently eating crow, but, like, come on. We know that we f***ed up by saying that we couldn't touch the format until August 26th. And in light of that, because of our horrible mistake, we won't touch it again until December 16th.
Because we're pretty sure we got it right this time.
We're pretty sure. There are several cards heavily on our watch list. I believe they mentioned Ring explicitly in Modern and Psychic Frog specifically in Legacy.
And Treasure Cruise and Pioneer.
Yeah. And meanwhile, like 30 minutes after the ban list, Reed Duke tweets like, pretty happy with these bans, a little concerned there's a de facto best deck in all 3 formats on day 1.
A little concerned.
Oh, okay. I, for one, am looking forward to Psychic Frog being legal in Legacy for Eternal Weekend. I think that card is super fun, and I'm going to play with it until they tell me I can't.
Which will be soon, but not before December.
December 16th is my guess. You want to take like a pie bet on how many Psychic Frogs will be in the top 8 of Eternal Weekend?
A pie bet?
Yeah, loser gets pie thrown in their face next time we see each other.
What?
You never done a pie bet?
No! We buy dinner. Or eat something spicy. I got
do
some
those things
spicy
for fun
peanuts.
anyways.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't get pie thrown at my face for fun.
Why not? That's the funniest thing there is.
I like to think Jason thought a pie bet was you have to memorize the first 50 digits.
That's what I...
You're like, I got this on lock. I'm so good at this.
3.141
6, 9,
is close enough. You don't need more digits than that. What the fuck? Are you measuring the radius of the moon? Get the fuck
Honestly,
out of here. 3.14 is enough.
At this point, just say it's 3. Just a rounding error at this point.
Yeah. It's 3 in a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's what it says on the Magic card. The rules text of Magic says pi is a smidgen more than 3 on that one uncard.
And speaking of Magic rules text involving numbers, Mark Rosewater posted his Duskmore teaser thing today, and I'm going to pull this up here because one of my favorite pieces of text on a Magic card ever is being printed in this set, which is, in parentheses, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, and 31 are prime numbers.
Oh my god, I skipped over this one.
Oh, man. So, like, it has to have reminder text about what prime numbers are, because that's easier than having the judge come over to the table and is like, just divide it! Just try to divide it!
Other notable things from this, I'm a big horror fan.
Can we not walk down memory lane at the next judge conference having a Calc 1 exam? Like...
What is
Remember,
a prime
everybody,
number,
you
and why
will need
isn't
to
one
know
a prime number?
the quadratic formula.
Do you all have your TI 83s from 2014? No? Well,
Every
instead
Magic
of a
judge has
judge
a
packet,
TI-83s.
you're getting $80 stipend towards Texas Instruments.
They'd be like, all right, you're gonna need to find the area of this sphere in polar coordinates. And then my fucking Calc 3 professor's gonna kick the door down. Is like, I told you, mother. You said, ooh, I'm gonna be a chemist. When am I ever gonna need to know all this calculus? Well, today, idiot, you want to play Magic the Gathering? You need to remember how to use polar coordinates. And
If every Magic judge pools their TI-83 gift cards together, they can buy one missile guidance system. A Texas Instruments missile guidance system. Can't be more than, like, what, $50,000? There's got to be at least that many judges.
It probably is just a bunch of TI-83 chips. Like, look, we made one good chip back in the 1990s, and then the guy who was good at making chips got a big bonus. He got a bunch of cocaine in a Ferrari, and he crashed the Ferrari. Now he's dead. But we had a bunch of extra chips he made, so here you go.
Missiles.
And theater projectors.
They're all instruments to me.
Texas Instruments makes like really high precision lenses, apparently, or something. I don't know. But like, it's more than just a calculator. We've been subsidizing them, like developing to spy on Americans.
By
like
buying
those
calculators for our children?
Yeah, those all went to Texas Instruments working on a satellite that can like read our mail over our shoulder and shit.
There's a card in Duskmore called Meat Hook Massacre 2.
Wait, what?
Like the sequel to Meat Hook Massacre 2.
If it's a VHS tape, I'll be
Maybe.
way into that.
So I love horror. I love like a good pastiche like this. I love some very specific references. They have a card called Let's Play a Game. Little Saw reference. Friendly Ghost. Little Casper reference.
But I think
Orphans of the Wheat, Jason. Orphans of the Wheat.
my personal headcanon, which as I told DJ is when it blows your mind, right? My own personal headcanon about Meat Hook Massacre 2 is that the Meat Hook Massacre was such a famous massacre that people in other planes heard about it and made their own Meat Hook Massacre story.
Do you know the Duskmore story
sick.
beat, Jason? Like the whole like thing with the plane and why it's relevant for the Omni
It's a
Open Path
house
multiverse?
that eats people.
It's so hungry and now it can go to other planes and it's trying to consume other planes. The demons
What?
inside the house are so ravenous that they
It's
no longer can be
Duskmore in
contained
the
to their plane.
Galactus house?
Kind of a Galactus situation.
The Galactus house.
I will say, the Duskmore story so far has been like very cheesy, very corny, but incredibly fun. Like it's worth a read if you're a lore person at all.
I'm not a horny pervert, so I'm not into Bloomborough, so Duskmorn is the set I'm kind of excited about.
Can we go back to Orphans of the Wheat and how much of a...
Thank you.
We are legally distinct from the children of the corn. Please don't sue us, Stephen King.
I've got some names that I could pitch instead of that. Kids of the Kale. Babies of the Broccoli.
No, Babies of the Baby Corn. No, Babies of the Baby Bok Choy. No, Babies of the Beets? No, you know what? You were right the first time. Babies of the Baby
What's a
Back
vegetable that
Ribs.
starts with the letter I?
Miners of the Meatloaf. Doesn't have to be a vegetable. Nobody said it has to be a vegetable.
Iceberg lettuce.
Infants of the iceberg lettuce. There we go.
There you go. There's probably some obvious vegetables. And everyone's like, has Jason eaten a vegetable? I eat vegetables.
In my head, jicama is the thing that keeps coming up, but that starts with a J.
Jute. Or ikama. Hikama? Is it hikama?
It's jicama. It's J-I-C, I think.
Ikama.
That sounds like the thing you're supposed to drink to make yourself throw up.
Icapectic or whatever it's called.
Ipecac.
Yeah.
It's Mexican. Hipacac. It's got real cane sugar instead of that high fructose corn syrup. Hipacac.
We have a 10-1 creature for 3 blue that has potential like Phyrexian Dreadnought fling shenanigan nonsense.
It's probably an illusion.
I'm gonna
So
guess.
you can't fling it.
You can guess you can sacrifice them.
Yeah, you don't target them, you just sacrifice them.
Oh, sick.
My bet for the legendary creature that first appeared in flavor text in Alpha is we're probably going to see Asmar and Amartica Dice and Akulakar again. Makes sense, like the chef for the demon shows up to the demon house.
Yeah. But, wait, wasn't she like...
No, it's Toothlicker Harge.
Well,
Orcish captain.
Wasn't the Asmo lady, wasn't she like in the past, like during Urza's era?
Yeah, maybe.
Like Brothers War, she was...
You don't think a demon could have kept her alive?
There's all kind of weird flavor text in Alpha. Maybe it's a Shakespeare character.
Maybe,
Look at me,
it's
I'm
Mark
King
from
Lear, and
the
I'm trapped
Dibble.
in this television. Isn't that strange? Ooh,
It's just
like
Jesus.
Doctor
It's
Who.
just Jesus.
Yeah.
It's Mark Twain. Unlock a locked door
Dude,
is a
Mark
piece
Twain
of
wouldn't
fun
take
text.
shit off of a house, don't you think? Don't you think Mark Twain would say something old timey Southern gentleman to get that house to behave?
I don't think unlock a locked door will be as fun as you think it is, because I think it's a mechanic that they'll use just like the brick counters and pyramids from Amonkhet, where it just doesn't do anything.
That's fine. It's still a fun piece of text.
Sure.
It feels very like how was I understand why the murder mystery
It
set had
feels
clue with
very
it.
if you would assemble a contraption and assemble two contraptions instead. To me, that's how
Yeah,
I feel
I
when
like
I
it.
hear unlock a locked door.
Well, they literally said, what is it? A component of the set with a frame using technology first designed for an unset. Is that contraptions?
It very well could be. I mean, what other frames are there? There's like the attractions, and that's kind of it. It could also be the fuse frame. Oh, there's going to be rooms. They said rooms are going to be a mechanic.
It's the
They said rooms
borderless
are gonna be a
tokens and
mechanic.
basics.
No, Jason, I'm Babe
Jason,
Ruth
let
pointing
her
left
cook.
bleachers right now. I'm cooking.
All right.
It's going to be rooms, and they're cards that you arrange on the field like you do with the linked cards from Un.
Yeah,
And
like
the
Bunny
locked
Dinosaur
doors-
or whatever. Yeah.
And the locked doors are things that stop you from going from room to room. So you have to unlock locked doors to move from room to room. Point to left bleachers. If I'm right, oh my god, I'm the smartest person on earth. If I'm wrong, don't remember this. Forget about it. This didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Now, what else is going on in Magic? We got a new set. We got a new ban list. Maybe it's time to break some bulk. That's how we get some momentum going. Let's break some bulk.
Breaking bulk time. Breaking bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, breaking bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking bulk. The end.
I've got a Shadowmoor multicolored common.
All of them. Slippery Bogle.
I don't think that card's even close to a pick anymore.
What two colors?
That gives it away.
Is it Manamorphose?
No.
Is it one of the
Oh, I take that back. Slippery
cycle?
Bogle is still a pick. I'm sorry.
Is it the 1 mana like Mill
It is not a
4
creature.
with Conspire?
Not a creature.
Is it one
Is
of
the
the
one-mana
of the
milk?
cycle? Cloud of the Dominus, etc.
Those are uncommons.
No, they're
Those
not.
Those are commons, I thought.
They're commons?
Jason is
That's
correct.
fucked.
Those are commons.
Is it one of them?
Yes.
Is it Dominus of the Godhead or whatever? The blue-white one?
Steel of the Godhead, yes.
Okay.
This card hasn't been reprinted in over 10 years.
Yeah, but
Which,
it's been a break in bulk more recently than that.
yeah, and
Probably 4 years ago.
for the new Brainstorm Brewery listeners, we used to have a rule on Breaking Bulk, one of the few rules of the game, that you couldn't pick a card from Lorwyn block because back in 2014, every card from Lorwyn hadn't been reprinted in 10 years, and so every common and uncommon from Lorwyn was like $4 to $5, and it was just kind of pointless to pick a common from Lorwyn because they were
Lorwyn
money.
block, they printed the amount of product for when people did not get into the game for Planeswalkers, and they were unprepared for how many people were going to get into the game.
It also, like, Lorwyn and Shadowmoor was printed, like, 6 weeks before the housing market crash or whatever, right? Like, no one bought that set. Also, like, wasn't Cold Snap in there, too? Like, it was 5
Cold
sets
Snap
in the year
was-
and the
yeah,
housing
like
market
that.
Cold
crash
Snap was,
the
I
year
think,
after.
summer of 2006.
How many sealed boxes of Eventide are there because, like, someone pre-ordered it, got it, and then had to sell it to pay for their upside-down house, you know? Like...
You know what I was doing in those days? I was buying boxes of Unglued, or Unhinged. Whatever the second
Sure.
set was that had the... Because you would get enough basics to pay for the box, and then any
Yep.
foils were just, like, $20 bills, and that was a great grind back in the day. I was like, man, I'm so glad I'm not working for the man. I'm doing this in my house. It was MTG Finance, the non-sexy version.
Yeah. Steel the Godhead is the blue-white one. Very good commander card. Unblockable lifelink are two powerful keywords, especially with commander damage. This is just calling attention to the fact that this one still hasn't been reprinted in 15 years or so.
It's like
Because
$4 on Card Kingdom also.
I am not
It says
counting...
the word Shroud on it, right?
No, it's unblockable lifelink.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am not counting dual deck Venzer versus Koth as a reprint, so...
Then it has no reprints.
There you go,
Sure.
yeah.
Yep. I have something a little more recent. Something that it's from Bloomborough. It's from the little critters set. It's a red uncommon from Bloomborough.
I'm not gonna guess it. Is it like red heroic card they give? Is it like the maniacal rage of the set?
What's Maniacal Rage?
The Eldraine Wicked Roll.
Oh, Monstrous Rage, you mean?
Sure.
It's not that, no.
Okay.
No.
I'm just trying to... any new card, I'm just going to try to reverse engineer it. You would have been very proud of me last week. Corbin picked Drowning Ichor last week, and I was like, oh, is it the kill spell with Proliferate?
Yeah, it's a kill spell with the set's
really
mechanic.
sad. I was like, how would Cass get this? Kill spell with Proliferate. And he's like...
Jason, do you have any guesses for my red uncommon from Bloomborough?
I sure do not.
Is it like an Abrade kind of thing? Like a Modal Shatter kill spell?
It's a creature.
I think it was pronounced Braids. Braids Cabal Minion. You didn't like
red
that one.
uncommon creature from Bloomborough. F6 concede.
It's a lizard.
It's not a lizard. It's a mouse, I believe. It's Heartfire Hero. It's a 1-mana 1/1 with Valiant. Whenever it becomes the target of a spell or ability you control the first time each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it. And then when it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. The cheapest playset on TCG Direct of this card is $10 for a playset. It is played in all of the Gruul Prowess decks and all of the mono red aggro decks in Standard right now. It
This
previously was worth nothing.
Yeah, this screams like budget
Yep.
deck tech.
Well,
All caps YouTube title. Build this deck for less than $80.
someone also discovered the tech of Callous Sellsword, which is a 2-mana creature with some effect. It's black creature that has a red adventure. 1 red, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to any target, then sacrifice it.
Oh,
So you can just like pump this little guy a couple times and then just like throw it at their face and double fling it basically. When Corbin did his thing where he said there was no breaking bulks in this set except for the banner, now there's this card. This is actually the second best uncommon in the set, I believe. Just behind
it's
the banner.
crazy that this is an uncommon.
Yeah. This would have been a mythic rare in Zendikar block.
Yeah.
Speaking of breaking,
Speaking of breaking, what does that mean?
I was thinking about breakdancing at the Olympics.
Oh.
One of
They
my
call it breaking.
customers in LA got, they showed me 2 tokens they got made. One was a human token that was the Australian breakdance lady, and one was a rogue of like the Turkish guy without the sight.
That's pretty good. As someone who had never watched breakdancing before that week, and got really into it because of that, I'm so mad about Raygun. She made a mockery of it, it seems like. Because the people who are actually good at it are so talented. It's so sick watching them do it. It's like, it's actually dance battles. Like, there's a dialogue, and the moves are all improvised, and it's like, it's so cool.
Yeah.
That lady. Everybody hates Raygun.
The Olympics are stupid. Breakdancing at the Olympics is double stupid. And she gave breakdancing at the Olympics the proper amount of respect it deserves. You don't do breakdancing at the Olympics any more than you would do like a rap battle or something else like that. Like it just doesn't belong at the Olympics.
Okay, boomer.
But the Olympics are dumb.
What a weird energy to take on that.
I'm not saying the Olympics are too good for breakdancing. I'm saying breakdancing's too good for the Olympics. It just doesn't belong.
That's not what you said,
there.
though.
It is. I don't care, but the Olympics are dumb, and I don't think breakdancing should be at the Olympics, which are dumb.
If you have a problem with what Jason said, here's his home address. Please flash his home address.
There's lots
on the
of
screen.
stuff. There's lots of stuff I think is great that shouldn't be at the Olympics.
Jason,
Right?
can we get Jason's home address on the screen, please?
Blur it out slightly.
People that are really mad at me because they like the Olympics are the ones who are going to be upset by that.
Somebody's gonna
That's so
ring his
true.
doorbell with their foot while
Olympics
they're spinning.
nerds. Some dude's gonna be like taking his pulse and like running in place, holding a torch, waiting for me to answer the door so he can set me on fire.
You're gonna pop open your door. It's gonna be some dude doing capoeira at your front door, just like kicking in your teeth.
This should be at the Olympics too. I don't know. I don't think contact capoeira would be any dumber than like contact taekwondo. There's too many pads. I want to see some ribs break. It should be a real endurance competition. You should
Jason
have to
wants
beat
blood
like,
sport.
yeah. And then at the end, you get 1 gold medal. Then Michael Phelps walks by with 34. Hey, I did a warm-up lap, and they said I did so good, they gave me a gold medal. I got the most ever. God, I hate Michael Phelps. Is like, look at all my medals.
Guy who thinks the Olympics are stupid has a lot of opinions on the Olympics.
Yeah,
Fucking shocker. This is white man over 40 behavior to a T.
I'm not that far over 40. Look, I'm 40.
But you are over 40.
But you have heard of my age. No, the Olympics are dumb. I think if you have to, like, box 10 people to get a medal, you should get 10 fucking medals. Michael Phelps would get 10 medals for winning 10 events.
How many trophies do you get for winning a pro
Olympics.
tour?
Michael, yeah, what if you won a pro tour? Do you get 14 trophies because you won 14 rounds? Michael Phelps' medals. Ooh, greatest Olympian. Michael Phelps and his big ear. I don't know, I'm having a day today.
Dying on a hill.
Have we done your breaking bulk yet? I actually don't remember.
Oh, I got not common. This is not common, it's not rare, it's not mythic, and it's not every
Special?
token. Because I'm not DJ. This is uncommon, and it's green, and it is from Modern Horizons The Deuce.
Is it Squirrel Nest? Is it a reprint of Modern Horizons 2?
It's not a reprint, it's only in Modern Horizons 2 ever. It is not a squirrel.
Reprints. Is it a
It's a
human?
squirrel card, though.
Scout?
It's a squirrel adjacent card.
It's not a squirrel.
Is it Tireless Provisioner?
It is not. That was...
I heard it has
first printed-
reprints.
No, it's
That was Modern Horizons 1, I thought.
Is Scurry Oak a tree folk, but it's still squirrel adjacent?
Scurry Oak is squirrel adjacent. That is true.
Is that your guess?
Yes.
Oh, damn. Scurry Oak. It's a combo piece. Take these out of your bulk before you sell. Leave these in bulk before you sell it to me.
Scurry Oak is a card that, like, it accidentally goes infinite with every other card in your deck.
Yeah. It's
It's very silly.
There's so many of those. Just take whenever you take the game action, take the other game action. It's Sanguine Bond. It's
Rosy
all the-
Cotton in the new Brood Scale, and then Scurry Oak,
isn't-
and they're all in green white, and they're all 3 mana.
This is already in 2% of all green decks in the database, and it's not going to be in fewer decks going forward. Don't put $2 cards in your bulk. These are going to be $4 before they're reprinted. This is a break-in
Agreed.
bulk of the week.
Okay, so the McDonald's Happy Meal promotion right now is Yu-Gi-Oh! Cross promotion with Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
What?
You have all those.
Did you not know these?
No. Is Red Eyes Black Dragon not on there?
Red Eyes Black Dragon is not available in North America, and it was only during the European launch.
It's because they fucking hate Joey Wheeler.
That's fair, but
They can't. Could you imagine what McDonald's New
What
Jersey
the
would have been
fuck
like if
you
people
guys
were
got
like,
against Joey Wheeler?
you roll up to
goddamn
McDonald's,
dog
you're in
costume.
Secaucus, New Jersey, and someone goes, "Hey, I'm Joey Wheeler. Can I get a cheeseburger? And I'm Red Eyes Black Dragon." Are you kidding me? They could never allow that. It'd be culturally insensitive.
Hey, Yugi, I was getting my kicked in that duel, and then you told me to believe in myself, and I lucky top deck 3 times in a row. Thanks, Yug.
My name's
heart
Joey
of the
Wheeler. My
cards.
pronouns are they, them.
Oh, when you pulled me aside earlier and said, "Hey, remember all that money you made playing 3-card money on the street? What if you did that with your trap cards?" And I finally understood what you meant. Hey,
Hey.
hey, it's me, Joey in Wheeler.
This podcast is a prison.
Joey Wheeler, the person of color.
Dude, you gotta call me Wheels. That's my name, Wheels.
We're not gonna call you fucking Wheels, dude.
That's
Calm down.
the kid in the wheelchair from the Burger King Kids Club. I'm not gonna call you Wheels.
Is that actually what they called him?
Yeah.
Holy shit, Burger King, what are you doing?
Yeah. I'd
For
rather
more
poop
culinary tips, find us on youtube.com/Brainstorm Brewery to see our actual faces while we talk about this. I don't know why I'm pitching this. Actually, nobody should watch on
I should
YouTube,
just
so
do
we
a,
can turn
I
off
should
our
just do
webcams.
a mukbang,
Oh my god, can we
it's
do a
just me.
mukbang episode?
but it's not me eating, it's me grilling.
We just do an episode where all of us like get food and we just do an episode while we eat, and it's a horrible sound in the microphone, and all of our listeners stop listening, and we can end the podcast.
Corbin does that already. Like,
we're 25%.
That's actually a thing he did 2 weeks ago.
That is true.
It's so much better when he's not here.
I do miss we don't have someone to drive the bus, though. We do have a lot of moments where we're like, what do we do next?
You
know what time it is?
Okay,
anyways, it is time, I think, for us to pick of the week. To pick our picks of the week.
Hang on.
These picks of the week are brought to you by Coalesce Apparel and Design. This little Jurassic Park Riptide Sliver shirt that I'm wearing is complimentary of them. It is very fitting.
You're pointing the wrong way. Cozy. I love that.
What?
But the right way for me.
Maybe. Who knows how we're gonna...
It's the wrong way for me, too.
Hey, look, it's DJ! He's in one of these boxes.
I'm screenshotting and posting on the voice text channel. Animals.
This isn't Hollywood Squares. I don't know where I am relative to any of these people. It's scary. We're not in the same room.
What's the Canadian Leaf Discord server?
That is Canadian Highlander Anonymous. Are you going to look at my Discord servers now? So we got, in order, we got Nova Spikes. That's Northern Virginia Spikes. We got MTG Ban. Oops, All Cradles. Brew Crew. The Discord for my store. The TOA official one. The one that the staff uses, I guess. I don't go in there. Murder Hobos United. I don't know what that server is.
It's
DMV
good that
Magic.
murder hobos have finally unionized, though. Like, there aren't a lot of them, but they are murder hobos, and together they're strong.
I'm in the Denny's Discord. The diner.
They have an official one?
No, it belongs to my friend Denny, but I refer to it as the Denny's Discord. But yeah.
This is great radio.
It
Mine's
really is
boring.
great radio.
EDH Rec staff. Brainstorm Brewery. Cool Stuff staff. MTGstocks staff. EDH Rec podcast staff. Cardsphere staff. Architect staff.
I'm getting the feeling that you're on
My
staff.
all Omnath Discord server that hasn't been updated in 8 months. MTG Commander Spellbook staff. MTG Price staff. EDH Rec Cast Patreon. Magic the Gathering. And that's my Discords.
Okay.
That's why I hate Discord.
Discord is where the work happens.
I know.
Putting in the work.
That used to be Slack, and it's like, here, why don't I just take a dump in Discord? I hate Discord.
I hate Discord. I prefer when things are harmonious.
I like Night Court.
I like Nightcore, like
Night
the
Court,
genre of
Night
music.
Court? Yeah. I didn't
Oh
like
my
the
God,
Night Court.
That would actually be an insane beat drop where it's just like dialogue from Night Court set to like a beat and it like starts speeding up, and then someone's like, the verdict is guilty or something, and then like the drop happens. Holy shit. Night Court.
We listened to Night Court. It wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It was just a regular saxophone
Wait.
song sped up.
This actually exists?
Yeah, this happened
Yeah.
on the podcast without...
It happened on the
without
podcast.
you.
You talked about Nightcore without me, you monsters.
You were here, you pothead.
Was I?
Yes.
Yeah, I found it.
Like in the voice
What?
text channel, probably. Yeah, Night Court. We watched this.
There's no way we watched this. Oh, never mind, we did.
Check out that purple ass link. You like that?
It was just so mediocre I forgot about it. Well, now I'm disappointed. Let's do our pick of the week.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
This pick of the week is brought to you by Coalesce Apparel and Design. Sponsor this podcast. You can get shirts like the one that DJ's wearing and wears every week. Wonderful shirts from partners of Coalesce Apparel and Design, such as Jim Davis, still I think, us.
Yep. I got
cool
a Jim Davis
original
hockey jersey.
designs,
Mystic Studies.
like the Ristic
Caleb
Studies.
Durward, yeah.
Caleb Durward. They got the cool one where it's like the Okiba, where it's like Akira but legally distinct.
We're starting to sell out. So tell
We've
Cedric
sold out for
that
a while. I messaged Cedric today. I sent Cedric an email working on getting the restock. I finally sent the email that I was supposed to use 2 months ago.
when that
That's our
restocks, you can buy a
second
shirt with my
restock.
face on it. You can have my face on a shirt, and I'm going like,
We should do a new design.
I'm working on it.
oh, okay.
Sick.
Hell
We should
yeah.
replace the Cass design. Just a sticker over Cass's face.
I'll cry, man. I'll cry.
All right, I have a pick of the week, and then Cass is going to tell me if it's good or not in Standard. My pick of the week is Archangel Elspeth from March of the Machine. This card is very reminiscent of the 2007 Planeswalker Elspeth Knight Errant, but it is power crept. 2008? 2008.
2009, I think, was Shards of Alar, right?
No, 2009 was Zendikar. 08 was Shards.
Oh, you're
Uh,
right.
Archangel Elspeth was $3 to $4 as of a couple
Our
months
listeners
ago.
weren't alive when Zendikar came out.
Card has crept up to around $6. Direct low for this is 18, which is kind of crazy. Direct being one of the main avenues that people want to buy lots of cards at once and get all the parts of their standard decks that they need all at once. Archangel Elspeth, I don't know if it's good or not. I just noticed the direct premium when I was buying one in a collection recently and just kind of did the Looney Tunes eyes bug out thing at the direct premium and saw that there were completed sales at that number. So some sorry soul paid $40 for 2 copies of this card, and that leads me to believe that you should be paying $4 to $5 for copies of this card, and it's still going to be legal and standard for a while.
Yeah, I think this card's good. It's seeing play as a 1 or 2 of in several of the control decks. It's seeing play in some of the white mid-range decks. I think this is a slam dunk pick. Funny enough, actually, it sees play in the same decks that my pick is in. Some of them, at least. My pick this week is Zoraline Cosmos Caller. That is the legendary bat from Bloomburrow. Sees play in the Bats deck, the life gain Bats deck, but it also sees play in just like the Orzhov mid-range deck, which it's a 3-mana, 3/3 flying vigilance. Whenever a bat you control attacks, I believe, you gain a life. And whenever she enters or attacks, you can pay a black and a white mana to return a creature with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to play. Just like a built-in value engine on a 3-mana creature. Is seeing success in multiple standard archetypes and has already seen a little bit of price increase, but I think the Zoraline kind of just like is exactly what these mid-range decks want to be doing in standard right now.
More people have built this as a deck than have included it in a deck, so EDH is not going to be much help, I don't think. It's a like mid commander, but it's a really low inclusion. So
it's just like a generic small value card, which is like way more suited for 4-of formats, right?
Sure. But if it were getting EDH help, I would be like, but also this, but like,
right,
you get no help from EDH. This is all a 60 card player card. So
this card is as good as Sun Titan, and it's 3 mana, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, this is a really good card.
There also are the really fancy versions, but those are not the pick. Those are just really nice looking. Sorry, Jason.
I had another card from Bloomburrow queued up, and maybe I'll do that next week, because I found a card that is like almost $2 maximum. It's cheaper than $2 a lot of places, and I've never seen a card with this text stay below $8. This is, of course, Overpowering Attack from Assassin's Creed. It is an extra combat spell. You have a free running cost, so you could play this for 3, or you could just pay hardcast it for 5. So it's, maybe a little bit better than some of the other extra turn cards. But like none of them are less than $10. It's crazy. Like Seize the Day has multiple printings and is $10. Relentless Assault has like 6 printings and is $4. Like Assassin's Creed didn't get bought enough for this not to be a $5 card very soon. I don't see Overpowering Attack staying this low for long.
I wholly agree.
I think people kind of didn't think about Assassin's Creed very much, and this card's going to disappear very quickly from supply.
It's only in that set, and the set is trash.
And any deck that wants one of that effect wants all of them.
Right.
And this is far from the worst one, and it's currently the cheapest. So, yeah.
Slam dunk pick, I think. Yeah.
There is a foil etched version of this card that is around $4.
But that card looks ugly as sin, so the regular one's probably better.
The etch foil is terrible.
Yeah. The etched cards in Assassin's Creed are especially egregious.
Also, there's somebody who has a listing of the etched foil on TCG Player, and they listed it with a photo for $3. So that person is using resources on the website to do that, and they should be punished severely.
I had a conversation recently with a friend of mine about there was a vendor on TCG Player. I won't say who. I think they're just like a smaller store, so I don't want to like give them too much crap. But they were listing every card over $10 with a photo. Like I remember I looked up Spire Bluff Canal and clicked on the foil thing, and it was like a $13 listing for a foil Spire Bluff Canal with a photo. And I'm like, what is the point of this? Like it was an LP copy. The photo wasn't good. Truly, why are we here? What are we doing on this earth? You should take down that listing, list it without a photo, go for a walk, get some fresh air, consider moving to Scotland, becoming a farmer. Like, truly anything but listing that Spire Bluff Canal with a photo.
Here's what you do. You take a screenshot of that listing, you print it, you frame it, and you put it up on the wall, and you look at it anytime you're like, maybe I should just do less than my best. And you're like, no, I won't do less than my best, because to do that would be to list a Spire Bluff Canal for that price with that picture. And then later, you can just take that off the wall and be like, that working is for chumps. Nobody wants to work.
And then you take a picture of the printout and list that on TCG Player for $13.
I would buy it. That's art. I would buy that.
Oh, we've really come full circle. That's avant-garde.
Look, we're not a podcast that wastes the Patreon money. We bought a Jason Colorado card on the off chance that we would get a handful of magic beans and have careers as pot farmers. We will take risks on this podcast with your money. So
I got to use the Jason Colorado card as a Merit Lage token recently.
Yes.
And my opponent said, "What's that?" in the middle of our game, and I proceeded to explain the full extent of what that is.
And that's just free psychic damage during the match.
yeah.
Well, my opponent was like, "That's really interesting. I think I'm dead to this 2020. See you next round." And just like scooped up.
I will ask any question that is going to delay my death a few more seconds. Oh, hey, 2020 Monster. You were frozen in ice. What was that like?
The card Dark Depths is very unique and beautiful to me in that it is one of the few cards in Magic that makes tokens where you never need multiples. Unless if you're doing Mirror Gallery stuff, like you're excited to have multiples.
Yeah.
But like Merit Lage, you can just use whatever you want as the token. It's only gonna be on the board for like 15 seconds.
Yep, one or the other.
I have a trading card for I have a Ricky Martin trading card. I have like the Village People trading card. Like I've used all things as Merit Lage tokens, and it's great.
Ricky Martin?
Mine was always a cool Porygon back in the day.
I mean, that's a classic. I think now I'm using
I'm not done expressing incredulity. That you just threw that out there like that's normal. It's like, oh yeah, Ricky Martin, that needs no explanation.
The Village People didn't need explanation either?
I guess not. They're villagers. What is Ricky Martin?
The musician?
So what's the musician token? Like, I could see using Drake as a Drake
it's
token.
It's Merit Lage.
Yeah.
It's just a card that has Ricky Martin posing with his shirt off that they sold in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I use it as a 2020 token because my opponent died 5 seconds later, and so it was funny.
But why is it funny that it's Ricky Martin?
It's funny that it's something that's not a 2020 token.
Because she bangs?
She bangs.
Listen, if you can use anything, then what you use is a statement. And it tells you there was a Ricky Martin card within arm's reach when I removed my last counter.
I actually got the Ricky Martin token out of a booster pack of Ricky Martin trading cards at a provision store in Old Town Alexandria. I went in to buy deer jerky because I had never had deer jerky before. Quite tasty, by the way. And they had on the counter, they had packs of cards fully from the 90s. This was in 2013 I did this. Sick. And there was a booster pack of Ricky Martin trading cards and I bought it. And I got a holographic shirtless Ricky Martin.
All right, that's a better story. I get it.
That's a good story.
Yeah, Merit Lage, when he bangs, right? For 20? I don't know.
Bangs for 20. 21.
I'm an eldritch monster. I have no need for your gender terms. You cannot conceive of my gender. You have 16 genders tops. I have a non-Euclidean gender. You couldn't even perceive it with your human mind.
Jason couldn't even find the Euclid.
Oh.
Who flicking their Euclideris.
Euclideris?
That's all for this week, folks.
It's in the fourth dimension, you idiot.
That's all for this week, folks. I've been your host, Caslin. This has been Brainstorm Brewery. It's been another average episode. See you next week.
More like, ooh, clit. Come back when you're a giant dong.
And just for reference, the average episodes are a step up from the more episodes.
Oh, yeah. That was fun.